everyone, Clark is Shy here, welcome back to another video. Today I am back and today I'll be talking to you guys about the Black Ops 6 Zombies feature that went missing. Now let it be noted, this feature is actually still within the whole game, but it's only in the first two launch maps being Terminus and Liberty Falls. It was never to be seen again within Citadelle or the Tomb and potentially might not come back for the future DLC maps. Why? We don't know, but we'll be talking about it within this video. The feature I am talking about is the Armory System. The Armory System is only in Terminus and Liberty Falls, and how it worked was basically if you eliminated any zombie you would get a chance of a key dropping, where that be a green key, blue key, orange key or a purple key, and as long as you had one of those keys you could go into the Armory System and get a potential chance to get good or bad loot. But it did depend on the type of key that you did have. A green key would equal common loot, a blue key would equal rare loot, a purple key would equal epic loot, and the highest rarity key would be the orange key equal legendary loot. So on one key, and depending on the locker you chose, you could potentially get a ray gun, a perk and a Casimir, whereas the next you'd get maybe 50 essence, a salvage and a low tier gun. It really all depended on your luck. But the system was really cool, and again the same applies to Liberty Falls, but this wasn't the first time we ever saw this system, and as far as I'm aware it's been in two other games, being Black Ops 2 and Extinction. Of course within Black Ops 2 Zombies, the first iteration of it, at least for what I can think of, was actually Die Rise. Now if you played a game of Die Rise and then of course you took down the elevator and you had a gun that you wanted to put in the fridge when you jumped off to the other side of the building, you could just leave a weapon in there, and in the next game you would play, you could go down the elevator again, open that fridge again, and then you would be able to pick up the gun that you left in there on your last match of Die Rise, which was very cool. So it's kind of like the Armory System, it's kind of not, because it's not giving you random loot, you're actually leaving the weapon that you want in there, so very cool. And then as for Extinction, it's kind of exactly like Black Ops 6 Zombies, except the only difference between Extinction and Black Ops 6 Zombies is that Black Ops 6 Zombies Armory System made a whole dedicated room where no zombies would spawn in there at all unless you had like a major glitch, but that was really it. But as for Extinction, you would grab a key and then there would be two lockers, and this was first introduced within the first DLC 1 map being Nightfall, and depending on the locker that you chose it would be all random RNG. You could get like a shitty pistol to like the best LNG within the game, and it would be very helpful. But within Black Ops 6, me personally, I don't really use it anymore. The only time I would use it is if I'm playing with friends, just having a chill game, gets around 30 in exfil, because the system itself is very goddamn cool and I absolutely love it, along with many other people. But where was it in Citadelle, or the Tomb? No one knows because it's not in those maps. But the question is, why? Now you gotta keep in mind, Black Ops 6 compared to that of Cold War or any other easy zombies games, Black Ops 6 is definitely a lot more harder, but not by a lot. And if you put in the Armory System in there, me personally, I've always gotten a lot of good loot compared to that of awful loot within the Armory System. So them not bringing them back in those DLC maps, I could see why. They maybe not want to make it so it's too OP or not, or maybe they just want to make it feel unique to certain maps. I don't know, but I definitely understand both sides. But in my mind, the biggest thing that made me wonder is that why not make it a side Easter egg quest? You know, why not make it a super difficult side Easter egg quest? Because if the Armory System is going to be that OP and make the game a shit ton more easier and save you a lot of points in salvage, then make it difficult to get. The biggest thing that made me just question everything about the Armory System is, why is it within Terminus being the big in-depth more difficult map compared to Liberty Falls, where you could just walk into the Armory System, whereas in Liberty Falls you have to actually do a side quest on the casual easy chill map? So I never got that in my opinion. So honestly, if they just made like a super hard side Easter egg quest for the Armory System within Citadelle or the Tomb, I'm talking like to the extent of maybe like a Ghost and Skulls type ordeal, you know, side Easter egg quest, that would be very cool. But they didn't do it, and that's kind of disappointing honestly, because it would be way too easy. But if they made a hard side Easter egg quest to earn it, I would love it even more. Not only is it a good system, but it would make the whole process of getting to use that system in a completely unique way, because you actually need to earn it, and it would feel more unique to those maps. So why it never came back, I don't know. But again, the only thing I can imagine is that maybe they wanted to keep it unique to the first two launch maps, and because it would make the game way too easy. Another thing as well, I could potentially see this being a super Easter egg reward maybe in the future, I don't know. But yet again, if that was the case, why put it in the first two launch maps in the first place, but make it so it's a super Easter egg reward specifically for the DLC maps? Again, I highly doubt that will happen, but that's just a little suspicion I have there. But the question is, will it ever come back? back? I don't know, because honestly, within the game mode Extinction, the armory system, at least as far as I'm aware, wasn't on every single map. So maybe the armory system will be on certain maps, maybe it won't, I don't know. But the reason why I say that is because you got to keep in mind the next map is the mansion map for DLC 3, and the mansion is in Liberty Falls, which was the last map we saw with the armory system being in. So maybe within the mansion we will have an unlock to the armory system, as that would make a whole lot more sense. And if that's the case, I totally get it. They want to make it so it makes sense, and they want to make it so it's unique to each map. I'm totally fine with that, but again, just it would have been cool to see. And maybe, you know, for maps like the Tomb and Citadelle, even though it might not make sense, make it like a special dedicated armory room that feels and suits the map, kind of like the hidden room that we see within the Citadelle de Morts main Easter egg before starting the boss fight, where you talk to the owl. But again, I would still go with the big whole super difficult side Easter egg quest to actually unlock it. Now, I did ask some of your guys' thoughts on Twitter on what you guys think about the armory system, and this is what you guys said. We got one from Too Bad for Xbox, and he says, a good way to take a break from killing zombies and bust a fat one in peace. You know, it's a good way to take a break from killing zombies, but who's busting a fat one in 50 seconds? You can only stay in that room for 50 seconds. Like, what? We got one from Zach the Baptist, and he says, a fun little system. Really feel like it should be present on each map. Maybe slightly different depending on the map and its aesthetics, but overall a fun addition. And again, I totally agree. For a map like Citadelle and Liberty Falls, it should be completely different. You know, it shouldn't be grounded like a facility, but completely different. Make the map feel like it's the map it's going for. For example, Citadelle de Morts being a French castle map that's got these horrors lying around with like doppelgas and all that stuff. So make it feel unique to the map instead of just all the map being, you know, just a completely, you know, nice village castle map, and then just boom, you got like a facility room dedicated to, of course, the armory system. No, it should still feel like the French horror castle map that we have within Citadelle de Morts, and the same applies to the tomb, of course. We got one from Insane Gamer, and he says, I think they're useful for getting set up with perks, streaks, and self-revives. I prefer Terminus where it's open right away, but Liberty isn't that bad to unlock. I don't really use them past like round 25 when I'm fully set up though. I'm probably the same way, but you know, again, like Xbox said in his previous comment, if you literally need to go away for 50 seconds, the armory system is there for you, especially when, you know, some players might not want to pause the game and you literally know that you're only going to be AFK for like 1 to 2 minutes. The Black Ops 6 zombies, you know, AI systems can actually kick you off really quickly, especially when you're only AFK for like a minute, which is actually unreasonably unfair. So the armory system could definitely help you that, especially when you're not going to get attacked by zombies. We got one from Code 6 Beluga, and he says, I like the system, but I don't see myself using it that often, especially after round 25. Though I swear I always get the same perks I already have. I hope they make a change to not get rewards you already have. I've personally not experienced that, but if that is the case, I definitely agree that does need to be changed. So honestly, Treyarch, please make that happen. Aside from that, I agree with the rest of this comment. So will the armory system ever come back? Who knows? I personally would love to see it come back. If it's only specific to certain maps where it would be in, you know, I totally understand that. And you know, for it to be input in Citadelle de Morts and the Tomb, especially with how those maps are and the feel that they're going off of, having the armory system, especially with how they work within Liberty and Terminus, just wouldn't make sense. But if they made the armory room where it just was going for the same feel and vibe that those DLC maps were, being the Tomb and Citadelle de Morts, I don't think people would have a problem with it. I just think going into the armory system is way too easy and would make the game a lot more easy than it already is. Make it like a super hard ass like side Easter egg or something like the Ghost and Skull Easter eggs like they did throughout the whole of Infinite Warfare Zombies. I would love that, and I think a lot of people would appreciate that too. You're unlocking something super OP for doing a super hard ass side Easter egg quest. Again, we'll just see how it is, but Treyarch, please bring it back for the next map. I love the system. I was so happy to see something from Extinction come back, so please bring it back in the next map, because honestly it would make sense to bring it back in the next map. But guys, thank you all so much for watching. Let me know in the comment section down below what you guys think about the armory system. Do you guys like it? Do you guys dislike it? Do you guys think it's a bit of both? What would you guys like to change to it, or do you think it's okay with how it is already? But guys, thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you within the next video or live stream, and goodbye.